I hope you all are having a fantastic day. Let's get right on into it. These are the things that I've done personally to regrow my hair and make it thicker and fuller. First and foremost, let me give a really quick sneak peek into what my hair looked like. It was thinning. It was still okay, but it was very like the body. It wasn't full. It wasn't lush and thick. And it started really getting the parking lots right through this area right here. Now, I do have hair loss on my grandfather's side. My brother has hair loss. My dad has hair loss. And so I started really early, like in my younger 20s. Things maybe helped a little bit, but I did do like Nioxin shampoo and conditioner in my early 20s. But it wasn't until like I was like mid upper 30s. My cousin actually told me about minoxidil, Rogaine, same exact thing. I get mine at Costco. I'll show you that in just a second. But he also was doing finasteride. So first and foremost, right off the bat, those two combinations are what really regrew my hair and stopped the loss of it, was finasteride. I'm off of it now. I'll get to that in just a second. But taking 1 milligram of finasteride per day over like the last 4 years and minoxidil twice a day, really I saw improvement after several months. Like once I think I got to like the 3 or 4 month period, people were like, whoa, like your hair is looking a lot better. Parking lot started growing in, started getting thicker and fuller all over. And so let's jump into the game changers, and then we'll do kind of like the subtle things that I do every day to help with hair loss, the small everyday things you can do. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to let you do your own research. I personally wanted to get off of finasteride. I just don't like to take something all the time. It does have some side effects. Do your own research. Some people don't experience anything, but I just didn't want to really take a medication long term. I love natural everything, so that's what I went with instead. Now, I've been off finasteride after about 4 years of use. I've been off of it for about a month and a half, and I haven't seen any major hair loss or anything like that. But the day I jumped off of it, within a couple days, I started using Sol Pimento. This is actually known to decrease your DHT, which is what finasteride does, is it blocks the stress DHT from you losing your hair. It just blocks that receptor. And Sol Pimento is supposed to do that about 60%. And I was like, well, that has pretty good odds. If finasteride works really well, hopefully Sol Pimento will let me maintain what I've already regrown. So I'll link this below. This is Sol Pimento 3x formula with nettle and pumpkin in it. It's gotten really highly reviews on Amazon, and I've been enjoying it the last month and a half. Again, even on finasteride, I'm not seeing any more hair fall into the sink. I was even having hair fall into the sink with finasteride. Like I'm talking about like a strand or two here or there. Nothing major. I'm not seeing anything different being off of finasteride, which is really, really helpful. So I take this according to the directions. And then next up is going to be your typical, this is just Costco, Kirkland Rogaine, really cheap. You can't really get it in Costco except for the foam, but I like the liquid better. So I just go on Costco.com. I order like a year's worth and just have it delivered. This is a 1 month supply right here. It has a little dropper if you've never seen this before. And I use 1 milliliter. And what I do with it is I fill it up. I bring up my hair up here and I just put it right in the parking lot area right there. Same thing with right here. Put it in the parking lot area. Wipe that in and put it on the crown right here. So I use 1 milliliter evenly on 3 parts, or maybe a little bit more in the fronts and then on the back. And then I just lightly massage it in like this right here. I do that in the morning and I do that before bed. So 2 milliliters per day, 1 milliliter in the morning, 1 milliliter at night, according to the directions. I also take a natural supplement, biotin, 10,000 mcgs. I take that 1 of those in the morning. I haven't used it yet, but I'm going to start microneedling as well so that the minoxidil can fill in a little bit better. Even with finasteride, this side never really filled in like it did on this side right here. Maybe because the way I comb over my hair, etc., and leave that exposed to the elements. Not exactly sure, but there are some other people on YouTube talking about microneedling and how even when they were on finasteride, it just stopped working and they started shedding. And so like finasteride just stopped working after like several years of it working. And that does happen. And of course, stressful situations, you'll notice a little bit more hair loss as well. Now we're gonna get to some of the micro things in just a second that I do every day to help hair pull out as well. But before we do, I do wanna talk to you about today's sponsor, which is iRestore. You might have seen this, you might have heard about it. This is a laser and red light helmet that you actually wear. This particular one is the iRestore Pro. iRestore makes several different products, and I will have everything linked in the description box below. But the good news is they're giving you a huge discount if you decide to purchase the red light laser therapy helmet. This is all going to be linked in the top link in the description box below to get $500 off of your purchase for whatever helmet you do decide to purchase. I do have the added accessory of the battery pack, so you don't have to have it plugged in a wall. You can just watch your television show, put it on your head while you're watching it. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the device. What's really nice about this is that the treatments only take 25 minutes, 3 times a week. Just put it on your head while you're watching a television show, reading a book, morning devotions. So that honestly for me, it has to be easy to do. If it's not convenient, you're not gonna do it. I'm just gonna be plain and simple with you. Very, very light as well. And flipping it over here, we can see all of our LED lights and all of our lasers right here. So all of these are gonna be lasers. All the round ones are going to be lasers, and then all of the small squares are going to be your LED lights. So let's do it. All right, I'm going to be using it with the battery pack, but you don't have to. Obviously, just use the cord. And let's go ahead and put it on. Bada bing, bada boom. We got my pads right there. We're looking great. Feels light on the head. Feels like a bicycle helmet. Let's go ahead and get my switches. Power it on, 25 minutes. I got a full battery, and go right there. So, as you can see here, we're lighting up, looking absolutely fantastic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we got a little bit of ambient light. Let me see if I can tilt my head back a little bit there so you can see a little bit better. So again, we have the lasers going with the LED lights. Super non-intrusive. I got the cord battery pack literally laying on the bed behind me. 25 minutes watching a television show. I can't even really tell if there's like heat coming off of it. Doesn't feel hot or anything like that. And just start scrolling, apply back to some emails. You do have the pause function if you do need to pause it as well. Simply pause it, lights will turn off. It'll keep the time right here. And if you need to restart it, so let's go ahead and restart it. Lights will kick back on. We're good to go. So definitely check it out. See if it is for you or not. And if you want to add that to your hair regrowth process. Thank you to iRestore for sponsoring this video. Now let's check out some of the small things I do. Okay, so for brushing my hair, which I'm going to be honest with you, I don't do that often. After showers, I use a wide tooth comb. And what I do is, now that we're talking about showers, this is just a small towel, but it's going to give you an example. So and I've been doing this since I'm 42 years old right now. I've been doing this in my younger 20s. Typically, when people get out of the shower, they take their towel and they rub their head like this there to dry it. No. The hair follicles, especially after a hot shower, they're open and they're acceptable to easier pull out. Number one, don't get in hair pulling fights. That's bad for the hair follicle. What you want to do is when you get out of the shower, you want to pat dry your head. I've been doing this for 20 years. Pat dry your hair. And if I'm going out somewhere, I take a wide tooth comb. I very carefully come down like this, bring it up and over, and use a high quality hair dryer if you want to do that with your... I don't really use hair products anymore. I think it's the minoxidil or the finasteride. It actually gave me more body and more fullness to it. So I just use this brush now, and that's what I did to comb my hair before I came into the front of the camera. A Wild Boar's brush, hairbrush. It just doesn't pull out your hair follicle, and I've had this brush now for 15 years or something like that. Wooden handle, 100% Wild Boar bristles, so it doesn't pull out the hair. Also, it's summertime now, and my bed sheets, my pillowcase is actually vegan silk, bamboo fibers that are like, they just call it vegan silk, and sometimes the silk will actually help prevent stickiness, so when you roll over, it like won't pull the hair follicle. I've just been starting on that, but those are the major things that I personally do every day. You want to be careful. Again, wide comb and I very carefully, I don't rip through it like that. I don't yank it. I just carefully bring it up. And if I feel a pull, I'll grab it like right here in the middle and I'll come up, because what I want to do is I want to take the tension off of my hair and pull up like that there. As you can see, my hair is a little bit sloppy now. I had it combed a little bit better. Now let's talk about a few other natural things you could do to help stop hair loss so that these things can actually work for you. Number one, I'm a very active guy. I love working out. I work out minimum 4 or 5 days a week. That's walking, that's hiking, mountain biking, river surfing, weightlifting, Muay Thai, boxing on my bag. I just like to keep active, right? Less stress. I also sleep 8 to 9 hours a night, minimum 8 hours a night, upwards of 9 hours a night. And I try to keep my stress down as much as possible. I do notice if I do go through some high stress times in your life, I actually have noticed when I was like right in the middle of my finasteride, I did notice that this peak right here didn't look as thick as it was. And I think it was just the added stress, like overrided the finasteride. And then once I kind of just chilled out a little bit, then started regrowing some more baby hairs in there. I did notice that one time in the last about 6 months or so before I did jump off of finasteride. I also eat super healthy. I typically do have cheat meals, but that typically is only once a week. Besides that, really healthy balance of good carbohydrates, lots of greens, organic, everything. I've switched over the last several years of everything organic, good organic chicken, fish, meat. And so diet can play a role of that as well. I actually just started implementing scalp massages as well. I don't do it very long. What I've been actually doing, I've been in a really good routine at nighttime. Pop on like a YouTube video. I just stretch after working out. But then what I like to do before I stretch and get on the ground, I just sit in my chair out in my living room. And what I do is exactly like this. Just about this hard, right? And it's not my fingernails, so don't scratch your hair either. It's my fingertips. And all I do is I go over the areas just like this. Very soft. I'm not digging in. I'm not pressing in too hard. It's just a very nice, light scalp massage, just like this here. And then I go to the crown like this here, and I get in right through the area here. As you can see, look at my fingertips. And I'm just lightly getting right up in there and just massaging that right through there. And I do that for a few minutes while I'm watching a YouTube video, not really paying attention. You can get like the silicone, like Amazon ones. I'm going to probably maybe try that as well. In my next video, I'm going to have an update about the microneedle. I am pretty curious about that, if it's going to fill in like what my goal is. There's baby hairs right here, but I'd like to go straight over like that, like boom, like this. I mean, I'm not happy with this. I'm very happy with this because it was a lot thinner. But if I could get it straight over like that with microneedling and minoxidil, shabada bing bada boom. Look at that hair. Sweet. Now again, I'm going to leave it up to you. If you want to experiment with finasteride, just look up the side effects. I did have excellent regrowth with the combination of first starting finasteride and minoxidil. I've now switched to Solplemento, which again is going to be your natural DHT blocking. From the get-go have started, actually maybe not with the get-go, but for several years now, I've been taking biotin 10,000 MCHs. And just these 3 products alone, you're going to see excellent results. And if you watch this video quick enough and you start quick enough before it goes back too far. My hair never receded too far back, but let's look at that clip one more time. It was starting to go and it was thinner. And so now, even with this side right here, it's still a little bit peaky, but there's still baby hairs right through here, and it looks a lot better than it did, and it got a lot fuller through this area right here. So definitely try these things. Again, see if the Iowa Restore helmet is for you, and I hope that you have hair regrowth and success. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up button on your way out, helps the channel. Also subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, as well as DIY house builds, van life builds, tech reviews, and more. My name's Chris. We'll see you on the next video. Take care for now. Bye-bye.